a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Oh my God. Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Love Shack time. Yep, and yes, Miss Joni is back. I know you guys missed her immensely. And we have Joni and we have the Hitman, the original Hitman, and Raven over here. And we have an awesome, awesome show, awesome presentation put together. I love this stuff. So it's just gonna be a great time. And no worries, I have my coffee, so everybody's safe.
Good. We're safe. You have coffee.
Yeah.
Does the Hitman have his coffee?
Yes. Yeah, see, he's caffeinated up. I'm good. It's gonna stay hot through the whole show.
He's double fisted.
There you go. See, this is a Contigo.
No, you did not.
On the show, you guys need to send me a bunch. Send me a bunch of Contigos, enough for everybody's show.
No kidding.
Where's mine?
At me. Huh?
Where's mine?
Hey, we all need Contigos. You want me to advertise? I use this on the show constantly. I don't get paid to do this. I would love a few Contigos.
What? Like, I'm gonna be paid for this.
What is that? Is that just the cup? Is that a special cup?
It keeps the coffee hot for hours, and it don't spill. You can literally drop it, tip it upside down, and it don't spill.
I need that.
I think that they should send the R.I.F.T Network some Contigos because I've been advertising this forever.
Is that like a Yeti cup? Like a Yeti cup?
Well, no, it's called a Contigo. It's a brand.
Oh.
The brand cup Contigo, you can literally, there's a lock on it, and you lock it, and you just kind of tip it upside down, and it don't drip.
Oh, I need that because that's what I do to laptops. They get wet.
Yes. So I think the Contigo company, if you're listening, guys, we'd be happy to drink coffee on air or whatever. I know you got hot cups, cold cups. Ship them on out to us. Come on. Get in touch with Howie the Hitman here. And he can have them and he can distribute these cups. We'd love to advertise them.
I would be perfect.
We can advertise them with our new mugs.
Yes.
Because that's what happens to my laptops. I spill iced tea on them.
Sarah goes, I'm getting new cups.
Tell Sarah good morning too. Happy Saturday. What has been happening on Saturdays?
Well, let's see. I think last week we did some readings and stuff.
Well, that was weird. Why did my thing just get a little dark there? Going all weird and crap. Dun, dun, dun. I think my camera's going, last Saturday we talked about kind of a serious issue, and we're going to return back to that. Why do we repeat issues?
Yes.
We repeat it with different people.
Yes.
We're actually going to go back to that next Saturday.
That's excellent because, it's obviously a lesson. And if we don't learn the lesson, it apparently it repeats.
Yes, exactly.
Lesson.
Keith popped on with us too.
Did he?
Yes.
Yep.
I read him too.
Keith and I will be on Monday night for Mysteries will be back. And Keith and I will be on at 8 Eastern following Mysteries.
Nice.
Very cool.
we have what's coming up. It's called a Venus star point. And that is very romantic as well. That's coming, I think, next week for all, for everybody. It's a Venus star point.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of romance. Romance.
Nice.
Romance.
Summer of love.
Love.
Love
will keep us together.
Yeah, because it's like Aquarius, right? So it's the summer of love, right? Isn't it like Aquarius or something?
Well, Venus is in Leo all through August and September, and when she is in Leo, she's very happy, and Leo is the heart. So Venus is in Leo all summer. She retrogrades, and then that's the romance.
Yeah, and we have Miss Julie in the queue. Oh my God, she just moved backwards, and I could see her backdrop. I freaking love that girl. I love it. Nobody else can see it yet, but I love it. I don't know how to add it over here, but I'll figure it out.
We can see it. I like it. Sarah, you need to come see our backdrop.
Yeah.
We're doing our astrology show, sis. My littlest astrologer, she loves astrology, my granddaughter, and she is here, and she's going to listen to our astrology. Yeah. She does as much as Nanny does.
Ooh. She's a manja.
She's a little Aries. She's an Aries Sag. She's smiling.
All right. Well, our guest is in the queue whenever anybody is ready.
Oh no, it's your show. You do it. I'm just here following.
Yeah, we're just
damn it.
Just here. Well, what we did is with her is what's called synastry in astrology.
Right.
And you take, we took her husband and her chart and we put them together, like with what we did with Howie and Sarah.
Right.
And it's just a great tool. It's a great astrological tool.
Well, since I've been doing this with you, I did download an app that's exact to my birth date. So it's kind of like an exact horoscope. So I do have that, but that's as far as I can go because it works for me. Other than that, no.
Well, I'll help you.
I'm working on it. So we're going to bring our guest on.
Yes.
This is going to be fun.
Bring our guest.
Miss Julie, hi.
Hi, everyone. How are y'all?
We're good. She's got an awesome chakra. The 7 major chakras behind her. I love that. I love her backdrop. Yep. So welcome.
I love
Thanks
that.
for having me.
Isn't it?
Good morning to you.
You say it sounds like you're singing "Happy Birthday, Mr. President," except you're saying,
"Yeah, he needs the Maryland dress."
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
You need the Maryland dress.
Fan blowing up from underneath optional.
Yeah,
that's right.
Stop looking at my skirt.
Some Like It Hot. That was from that movie.
Yeah.
Some Like It Hot. Power station.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me.
He's got to play it up. He's outnumbered here.
Yes, he is.
All of us and Miss Sarah. He's outnumbered.
Yeah.
That's right. Better be on your best behavior, Howie.
And she's a Capricorn, Howie, so she will keep you in line.
A new theme for the Outlaws? ?
A new one. Well, are you ready for this, Miss Julie?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, just give a little. Is it okay if I just give a little information on what's in your chart?
I will jump in as it comes to me.
Yes.
I have no control over spirit.
Hold on, before we go any further, I will tell you all, we are not getting Facebook feed chat.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that, Stu, you're aware of that. We are not getting feedback from Facebook.
Streaming on the R.I.F.T network. Hold on.
Streaming on RNN.
All right, I will check that right now while Joni does her thing.
Good morning, Ashley. How are you? Good morning, Keith. I want to make sure we acknowledge. Oh, Ashley's in the house. Look out.
All right, let's see. Go ahead. You start. I'll check.
Okay. All righty. So for starters, we have your sun is in Capricorn. So for everybody that knows Capricorn, Capricorn is an earth sign. It's a December, January babies. Capricorn is the workhorse of the zodiac. They are our CEOs. They're the boss. They take control. They work the hardest of any sign in the zodiac. Like work. That's the thing about a Capricorn is they need to know when to stop and have fun. So
that's true.
It's true. And Capricorn has people think, oh, Capricorns have a very dry sense of humor. So they're quite funny, quite personable when you get to know them, because they have, like everybody, a lot of the earth signs, they have to be given proof. If you're going to tell me something, you better be able to back it and show me. They're very grounded. They're hardworking. If I was to have like an Elon Musk company, Capricorn would be the CEO. No questions asked. They're the boss. They're fair. They will be in to work before everybody gets to work. They will be there late before everybody leaves. So that's kind of a Capricorn. Is that pretty true about how you are, hon?
Yeah, that's fairly accurate. Yes.
And then we've got your moon, which is what you do emotionally, how you react emotionally, is Aquarius. So were you aware of that?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
But I'm not really sure what that means. So
okay, the Aquarius is the humanitarian. Everything has to be equal. What drives an Aquarius crazy is if they see somebody being treated unfairly or it's unjust. They are, like I said, they are the rebel. They don't like rules. They don't want to listen to the boss. They don't even like the word boss, because everybody should be equal in their eyes. They are the ones that are going. That's me. Yeah, they will save us right now in what we are in right now with our country and the themes that we're in right now astrologically. Aquarius is going to be the hero. They're going to come in and save us, just for a variety of reasons with other forms of astrology. But with Pluto moving into Aquarius, that's where we become equal in things. That is, if Aquarius stays at level and doesn't go off on some tangent somewhere up into space. Because that's what they do. Does any of that make sense to you?
That does make sense, yes. Yes, okay. I wonder where that come from, because that doesn't really jive necessarily with the Capricorn part of me. But yeah, that's actually pretty interesting.
No, it doesn't. That's what helps you be chatty. That's where you get your
definitely chatty.
because it's an air sign. So air signs are the communicators. So, Capricorns are not really chatty. That Aquarius coming in helps you to not be such an introvert. That helps that. And then your rising is a Scorpio. You've got a great combination when you've got like a water sign, an air sign, and an earth sign. They all balance out each other, and you're not like lopsided, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So Scorpio likes to retreat sometimes. That's
oh yeah.
People see you as a Scorpio a lot. So that's the intuitive one. That is the passionate one. They're very, very like I said, they have their passion and they're very loyal. Scorpios are very, very loyal. And when we get into your chart with your husband's chart, You guys have a lot of, although you're opposites because he's a Sag, you're a Capricorn, a lot of your planets match, which is wonderful. So that's where you get along, because like you're going to say, oh, there's no way a Sag and a Capricorn get along. Because
I hear that a lot. People have told me before that they don't understand how we work, because on paper supposedly we're not supposed to work, but I'm like, well, we do. So I mean, so this is very interesting to learn.
You work very, very well, actually. Very, very well. It's interesting. There are some really neat, interesting dynamics with you two that like, and one is kind of funny, and I'll show you all the chart because I did a slideshow. So are we ready to pull that up, guys?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Ready for that?
Bear with us. We're letting y'all talk. We're going, we got to fix a problem.
God love you. Well, his moon is in Cancer, which makes him very emotional, and he can be a little moody. But the Sagittarius, he changes moods every 2.5 days. Doesn't he? Has my granddaughter's going, yes. She's so funny. Okay, here we go. Here we'll bring the slides on. Okay, can everybody see that?
I can see.
Okay, I like that love shack. Okay,
that's cute.
Oh, a little heart. Okay, this is what's called a synastry chart, and I know it looks Greek, but this is her chart and his chart as they combine. That's what's so cool about it. She is the orange, he is the blue. And what's interesting is when we look at synastry, we look at the orange and the blue, and first of all, we look at what's called a conjunction, which is the combination of both energies together. Okay, so if you'll look up to the left-hand side of their chart, in Aquarius, we've got the symbol for Venus and Saturn. Do you see that? That is a great aspect between the two of them. And we'll get over that. We'll go over that. But you guys have a lot of very matching, if they're not in the same sign, like your Mercuries or your Venuses, they are in great aspect to one another. So you guys really match very, very well. So you can't look on paper and say a Capricorn and a Sagittarius and say they won't work, because you guys mesh so well. It was almost like soulmates in a way. How long have you all been married?
Actually, the 20th of this month we'll be married 35 years.
See?
35 years.
That's amazing.
Yes, sir. But we've known each other for 41.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that great?
That is beautiful to hear in this time and age. I want to say that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think we're almost like dinosaurs at this point. You know, it's hard to.
I love that. Well, this is what's funny is Mercury is the sign of communication. It's how we speak to one another. What sign does your Mercury fall in? Both of you have your Mercury in Capricorn. So, communication is so important in a relationship. I think one of the most important things. So when both of you are in the same sign, that's instantly, you can talk to one another.
Yeah.
You know how each other relates. The dry humor, I bet it's hilarious. But see, he's a Sagittarius, so he's going to be the extrovert of the couple.
Yes. Yeah, he's never met a stranger ever.
No, Sagittarius doesn't know a stranger. He
doesn't.
And he will be the one that's like, oh, come on, we're going to go do this. We're going to go do this. Just jump off the cliff. Look, the rubber band will catch you. And you're going, no, I'm not going to do it. And he's like, oh, right. Yeah. And then he'll push you.
Yes.
He keeps you laughing too, which is good.
Yes, that's very important to me. I think that was one of the one of the first things that I found attractive about him was his sense of humor, and he got my sense of humor, which is always great. A lot of people don't, but you know, we actually a lot of times we just have our own little private joke and just between the two of us, but almost like we can read each other's mind when it comes to things. We don't even have to say it sometimes, but
isn't that wonderful? I love it. I love to see a marriage last like that. That's amazing.
That's beautiful.
It is. And
That's
then when we look at Venus. Venus is what? It's our love life. It's our relationships. It's beauty. It's what we find attractive. It's love. Aquarius for you, and he is a Scorpio. So he loves with passion, intensity. He can be a little jealous, but
that's where the insecurity's coming in. I keep picking up somebody's a bit insecure. So what happens is sometimes, not you because you know him, but sometimes other individuals can take what he says the wrong way. But I'm getting the jealousy, and that has to do with they're saying like the low self-esteem that nobody knows he has except for now.
right.
But if that's the self-esteem issue is what I'm getting for him. And it's not that he doesn't love you. That's like him reflecting to try to get everything that's happening. But you know that. So you guys actually mesh together. I mean, every now and then it'll be like, dude, take a pill, you know, because you've been married for so long, you're ready to say that. But
Yeah.
other than that, you guys get along very well. It's just that slight insecurity that causes sometimes his mouth to get ahead of his brain. That's what I'm
Yeah.
getting. Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly what I'm getting. And he doesn't mean anything by it because he's a sweetheart. He doesn't.
Right.
It's just that he doesn't think because his insecurities get in the way. Sorry, Joni, go ahead. That was
honey, you're fine. You're great.
We're doing what we do.
You know, Scorpios, and if Keith is out there, he'll say, yeah, that's true. Scorpios can get, what's the word? A little jealous, a tad jealous. They're a tad possessive.
I don't like to use the word jealous. I think that word's been misused.
Yeah. What's another word?
Territorial.
Yeah.
Territorial.
How about protective?
Protective,
territorial, it's a little bit of the same. You're willing to put yourself out, but you're out there, you're protecting your partner. But if somebody comes in too close to your fence line, you're going to make sure you snap. It has nothing to do with your partner. It's the other person.
Bingo.
Right. I like territorial.
Well, I always look at it as protection. And there's a reason for that. Because it's like my man's not jealous, but he is very protective. But see, that's a trait I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about it.
I would say that's
I like territorial. That's kind of cool.
Stinking my ground.
That's the word.
I've done it before.
With the Mars. What is Mars? Mars is the male drive. That's the hot as opposed to Venus is cold. The male passion, drive. You're in Libra, which keeps it very balanced, peaceful, peacemaker. He's Leo. So that's a good combination as well. Leo and Libra get along wonderfully. So that, again, is another compatibility issue. I mean, everything is compatible with you guys on the other planets, with the exception of the sun, but it balances everything out. So it's wonderful. The Leo and the Libra are wonderful. That Leo with him, he does not know a stranger. He will walk into a room and just shine. He's like a magnet.
Yes.
He's a magnet.
Yes.
I mean, with that Scorpio and that Leo and the Sag, I don't think he can go anywhere without somebody paying attention. Is he real handsome?
I think so, yeah. But yes, he was quite the ladies' man, especially in her. Of course, we're a lot older now, but yeah, he always I was a bit jealous there for a long time because there was always girls showing interest in him, and I always felt like, that would always play on my insecurities. But yeah, he's
magnet.
Yes.
When you put, and Howie's got that. Howie's got the Scorpio Leo combination.
Yeah.
And then add on to Howie, the Aquarius gives him the ability to talk and chat. He's a magnet too. It's when you combine that Leo and Scorpio, it really is a draw for people, and they don't know why they're drawn to you. It's the energy of the astrological sign. But the Scorpios have a magnet, but add the Leo charm in there, and oh man, they really, but they don't realize it. They don't know it. We see it, but I don't know, Howie. Do you see it sometimes? You just think people are being friendly?
All right. Wow. Hold on. I'm being hot here. Sometimes you're thinking they're being friendly. A lot of people will miscue me. So Aquarius as such as flirtatious or flirty when you're just being friendly. So it's a catch-22 to it. It's back and forth, and you don't really catch when somebody's being flirty with you. You just take it as is, and then sometimes you just need that squeeze on the hand. You're like, oh, So yeah, it's true. Sometimes it does happen, and I would agree. I would agree with that.
You can spot it. It's easy to spot. It's like it's the backlight. It's the spotlight. It's very apparent.
Mm-hmm.
Those are kind of the outer. That's the inner signs. Those are what we call personal signs that affect kind of personal. Then we get to the outer planets, which are more of a collective. But your outer planets do have a bearing on your synastry chart, not as much as the inner planets of like Mercury, Venus, Mars, Sun, Ascendant. So that's kind of like just like you two together. But then when we mix the synastry, with what we call aspects. So that's your all's chart. I love the black chart. I think it's pretty cool looking.
It is.
But when we put the two together, then we have what's called aspects. What do you all have that flows? What are called trines or conjunctions, or squares or oppositions? What are things that, let's say, for example, right when you all got married, we would look at the squares. We would look at the oppositions. We know what goes well together. We know what flows, but we're going to look at the squares just to say, you know what? This is your energy. This is my energy. Now, if this comes up, how do we deal with this? Because all couples are going to have squares. Squares are lessons. It's how we learn. Oppositions are when we're at complete opposite ends of the spectrum. Now, how are we going to work together to make the marriage work? Which it apparently sounds like y'all have done that very well. But not every marriage is going to be perfect. Not every relationship is going to be perfect. There's always going to be something to work on. So with you two together, what I found was really interesting. The moon in Cancer and the Mars in Libra, they square exactly and we do it by degree from 0 to 5. So because they're always moving. So if they're 0 or 1 and they match, it's a complete match. It's called exact. So the moon exactly squares your Mars. His moon squares your Mars. Now that can cause a strong sexual tension, emotional combativeness. The moon person's emotions, which are his emotions, can get a strong response from the Mars. The moodiness of the Cancer can get a strong response from your Mars. But your Mars is in Libra. Libra is non-combative. Libra's just going to say, you know what? I'm not dealing with you in this mood. Go do what you got to do. I'm going to be good. And you try to throw glitter on it. And sometimes you will ignore it. And then it explodes. When Libra Mars explodes, then, so in the beginning of a marriage or a relationship, it would be Libra. If it's bothering you, Libra Mars, what he's doing, you need to not let it build up and explode. Say it, and you know he's moody. He'll get over his mood, and then you move on and work through it. Has that happened?
That does make sense, because that's something that I had to learn to, like, years ago. I had to learn that. So yeah, that does make absolute sense to me.
You know what? I love the fact that she used that word. The fact that she is admitting she had to learn something about him.
Yeah.
That means if we take that time in a relationship to learn what also needs to fit, we were talking about this last Saturday, then it will make things move server. It's when we fight against each other and choose not to understand the other person is when there's conflict.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah, you really have to learn to adapt to each other. It can't be, all my way or all his way or whatever. We had to learn to, bring our two different personalities in and with their own, life experiences, and make them, and work together on it. I mean, it's always a work in progress,
So what would you say is the remedy for a happy, long marriage?
I don't know, just mutual respect. Never forget you are two separate people. They say you get married and become one, but you're still two distinct people with your own thoughts and your own, emotions about things. And you're not going to agree on everything all the time. I think some people think you're supposed to just be in sync with everything all the time. And I hear that and I think, well, how boring would that be if he's exactly alike on everything? And be understanding of each other, and be quick to forgive if you need to, and understand you're not always right. Sometimes you're wrong, and you have to. And I'm a Capricorn. Sometimes that can be hard for me to admit. That was another thing I had to learn. I'm not always right. Sometimes he might know what he's talking about as well. So I don't know. Just respect one another. I would say, and just be committed to it, and don't try to, like, as soon as anything starts getting a little shaky or whatever, don't, some people just want to run at the first sign of any kind of trouble. Just kind of stick in there and try to get to the bottom of whatever issue is, and and come to an agreement. You can both be compromise with one another.
In today's society, it's too easy to get out.
Yeah I mean, there's been times that we could have taken that easy out and just like, we're out of here. But, we just, I don't know. I think we just like each other. And something else, too, that I think really helped with us, we were friends before we became, a couple.
Bingo.
So it's like I really did marry my best friend in a lot of ways.
Yep.
I think, if you look at it more, if you're your friend first, seems like you have a different level of respect. You kind of see him in a different way.
Easier to communicate.
You don't want to lose your friend,
Yeah.
See, I think that's important too.
Yeah.
I totally agree. That's one of the things that we've lost through the last couple of generations is the ability to courtship. Courtshipping is not what it used to be. And nowadays it's a quick hit, get the strange, and maybe I'll find that person. Shouldn't be
right.
Yeah. The whole
usually when you're not looking is when you finally find that individual.
That's true.
No,
sometimes they're right in front of you and you don't realize it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in my case, I wasn't looking, and then I finally found.
Yeah.
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 See, that's interesting. That's so interesting. And, another interesting thing about you guys, which I liked, was again his moon in Cancer, and Howie, and here goes Keith's gonna laugh.
Uranus.
Uranus and Virgo. Okay. Now it's called a sextile, which is a very good working. It's when the two energies are working very well together.
Right.
And this brings excitement into the relationship. It's a degree of unpredictability that keeps the two people interested in each other. With their sparkling originality, Uranus teaches the moon, which is you taught him, to be more emotionally flexible. He then provides emotional stability so that you can feel safe expressing your individuality. Crap, I couldn't say it.
More coffee. More coffee. There we go.
So that's a great growing aspect, if that makes sense. I like that one. I did like that one. Here's another cool one. His Saturn, which is in Aquarius. Saturn is restrictions, the teacher, it's karma. Saturn.
Right.
Is an exact conjunction, which means they blend together with your Venus. Okay.
Okay.
So that makes him almost at times the parent, where he can be the parent with Venus. It's it's a karmic thing that you guys have together.
Nice.
He assumes the role of the parent and provides a solid foundation for you. And although at times you consider him domineering, it may give him a gentle affection and admiration that his efforts deserve. Due to mutual respect and sincere concern, this aspect can generate long-term ties of love. It's a slow but steady growth as sincere care becomes the dominant note of this relationship.
Wow.
I thought that was so cool.
And she gave you confirmation. Look at that smile. Yeah, she's like,
Yeah. That sounds about right. I mean, this is just amazing to me. It's almost like someone like knew us and then made this chart instead of the other way around. It's amazing. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense, but I think
it's scary as hell.
Isn't that cool? It's so accurate. It's frightening.
When
it is. It's very eerie.
When she did our chart, Sarah and I's chart, she was like, bam, 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 bam. It was like fitted. And I was like, wow, Sarah, you need to go watch this. And oh my God. But I reached out to Joni because Sarah reached out to me. She goes, I want that chart. I'm like, yes. She goes, I'm going to put that on our damn wall. That's going. I'm like, I want it. You owe me a chart, Joni.
I thought I emailed it to you. I'll send it to you.
Okay. But yeah, it's a beautiful piece and it shows the overlay of how the combination.
I love that. I think it would be cool to frame.
Yeah. And
that's what I need of mine and Todd. So when people say, all right, so how do y'all work? I'll just point to that and go, this right here. That's how it works.
Show it to him.
I'll say, Joni, I think that's something we need to offer here at the Love Shack is once the show ends, you can send a packet to our recipient and pal. I think that'd be a great getting your astrology here. We're helping the show, we're helping people, and that person gets exactly what we are talking about as a united, connected group here.
Well, I think it would be really cool to frame that. I think it's I like the black one with the different neon. I think it's pretty. I love that. Let's see another one. Let's find another one. Oh, here's one. Here's an opposition. Okay. We've got an opposition, but I'm going to tell you the saving grace in this opposition. Again, his moon. If you notice, the moon with him is very prevalent, but that's his emotional state. Okay. It's an exact opposition to your Mercury in Capricorn. Okay. So it can be the Mercury person, which is you, sometimes his emotional, remember how we talked about emotionally, it can get to you. That's where the opposition lies. However, because you have a Mercury in Capricorn, you can come in and feel the way that he expresses himself as well. So that, I thought that was pretty cool when I wrote on my notes. But her sun is in Capricorn and her Mercury is in Capricorn. She knows, because see, Capricorn and Cancer are complete opposites.
See, I just took my rune dice for poops and giggles here. I didn't say the other
bring
word.
out the dice.
So I was just playing with the rune dice just to see what would come up, right? And you got Haligas. Now, Haligas is a rune that has to do with security. Except in this particular case with you, you have what is known as beautiful disasters. And that kind of fits what it is she's talking about, because when they're talking beautiful disasters, they're also talking about this is your security. It's like that's not a real argument. And again, a lot of that has to do with Spirit is saying a lot of that. You got one more room too, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that as far as his security level, he's able to voice his opinion. You, even though the way he voices it or the way you voice it, you're still able to understand each other. So that's why it's considered a beautiful disaster, because this is not a negative thing in any way, shape, or form. So that's really cool. I like that part. And then you also got Gabo. Now, Gabo is kind of like just an X. There's no upside down to this. It's always something that's one particular way. You have a meaningful exchange of give and take. So when you're putting the two runes together, even if that high tension flies, you're still having a beautiful meaning, your beautiful exchange of thoughts and ideas. It's the way that you're expressing it seems to be sometimes to other people, oh my God, they're arguing. No, we're just talking.
Right.
So exactly. That's the way that the runes are actually talking about. And they just came in yesterday, so I was dying to try them, so I figured I would. So let's see if that fits in with what you're saying astrology wise. I lost Joni.
No, you didn't lose me. I'm listening. I was waiting for her to answer you. No, I love that.
Yeah.
That's very true with us, because sometimes people will think we're bickering, and we'll have our debates, and we're not bickering at all. We're just, he has his way of saying things, I have my way of saying things, and they might sound completely opposite, but we get each other. So it's not an argument per se. It's just part of the passion play, I guess. I don't know.
I like that. So I think the runes kind of fit with what you were saying. Let me know yes or no. I'm trying to find this out there, Joni.
I love that.
That's what the rune said.
They confirmed it.
Yeah. So I picked up some rune dice.
Good.
It's pretty neat.
That's like the astrology dice too. I love those.
Yeah, I seen them and I was like, oh, wow, amethyst rune dice.
The astrology dice are here somewhere in a box.
In a box.
I was just curious to see if it fit, because it's not really meant for anything except really diving into in order to get you or what's happening, the room. So I was really curious to see how that actually fit together. But it's kind of I think it explains it. So just trying to put my 2 cents worth in here. So,
I love those dice.
So just jogging.
Yeah. I love them. Here's a really cool aspect that I liked with his Saggy sun, and your Mars in Libra. This is an excellent aspect for marriage. Now, I mean, that would have been like if you're engaged. This is a great aspect for marriage. You consistently express your desires to him, the sun person, and he provides inspiration, encouragement, hope, and faith. This relationship is characterized by sexual attraction as well. Accomplishing their goals is easy and brings much happiness to the relationship.
Wow.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, one thing with him, he's always been one that I could feel comfortable with, because I'm not one that can generally express I'm not real comfortable expressing my emotions, in a lot of situations. But he's always like made it, a comfortable place to do that, where I don't feel like I'm, being judged or, going to be embarrassed by it or something. He's just always, and he does. He's probably, the most encouraging person I've ever had in my life. That that's, almost like a hero that came in and swooped in or something. I don't know. But yeah, that makes sense what you said.
We love him. We like him.
I wish he could have been here. He has to work today, so he couldn't be here to listen in on this. But I'm going to make sure he listens to this later. But yeah, this is very fascinating.
Sit him down and go listen to the archive.
Yes.
So
when I started to look at it, I thought, oh, I love this couple. It's real. You really are a neat couple that I think has just grown and taken everything, like you said, and have learned. And a lot of that is with Saturn, is where Saturn aspects are, is how we learn, what we learn from, and squares. And it looks like you guys have done it wonderfully. Look at how long you've been married. So
I can tell my kids our first Christmas was the first Christmas, and they get a kick out of that, because that's how, because we've just been together for so long. I really couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine life without him, really, because he's just such a stable and supportive, part of my entire world. And he's dependable. I don't have to, worry about him so much. He goes out and he drives a truck, and I've had people say, "Don't you worry about him doing this or that?" I'm like, no, I don't. I feel like I know him well enough. I would be really, really shocked and would probably just fall over and die from the shock if he was anything but that to me, because he's just always been very stable and sturdy and supportive to me.
Yeah.
I think truckers get a really bad misconception on their behavior.
I think so.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
I think so too. He doesn't have time to do anything. I mean,
yeah,
they have dispatch times to meet. He's on a schedule. He doesn't have time for any shenanigans.
There's a lot of loyal truckers out there, and actually, it's a lot of trucker couples now that the husband, wife, or girlfriend, boyfriend are actually doing it together now. So it
that's
really,
what he wants to do. He wants me to get my CDL and us, go on the road together. But I don't like the way people drive these days. I don't think I'd be very, very happy doing that. I would ride along, but I don't know if I'd want to. I don't know how he does it. I've rode with him a few times, and I'm like, I don't know how he does it.
I'm going to interject on that and say, no, you've got other things that you have to take care of in your own world. So, yeah.
That's true, too.
That's true, too.
Well, he's a Mars and Leo. He's his heart's with you. That he would not do it. He would never, ever. You would never have to worry about him, ever.
And the thing with him in his younger days, he was such a ladies' man. I think maybe that's what, in the long run, ended up drawing him to me. Is I did the exact opposite of all those other girls. They were all throwing themselves at you, and I'm like, yeah, hey, that's cool. You go do you, and I just kind of let him go sow his wild oats, and then he just kind of knocked on my door one day. It's like he realized, I don't know, but I found him to be very, very loyal, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Faithful.
Faithful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Scorpio. Scorpios are very loyal and very faithful. So yeah, and then the Leo in there, you have nothing to worry about. Nothing.
And he lets me be me, and and I can feel just like free and comfortable around him to do that. And he feels the same way, I guess, in some ways, because I know, he can open up to me in ways that I'm positive he does not do to anybody else, because he's very sociable, but there's a certain, like, on really deep personal levels that for whatever reason, he's not as open like with everybody about, I think we both each know each other probably better than anybody else does. So, to the point where somebody, says something or whatever, we can hear that and go, oh yeah, that sounds like him, or no, that doesn't sound like him at all. It's not something, you kind of know each other's character enough to where we don't have too many clashes. Sometimes we do. Sometimes, we was talking about earlier, insecurities and stuff, but I think he's very, like I say, he's very protective over me. He's told me before how sometimes he thinks I'm too friendly. I think he's afraid people's going to take advantage of me, which sometimes it happens, and I can say you were right. But
well, I think it's wonderful. Well, if you have any,
I don't think I could have sat down and custom picked out a better person. No. I think we do suit each other well, and now I can, looking at the charts, I go, okay, it makes sense now. But it's like, but in so many ways on the surface, we look like complete opposites.
Yes. Well said.
But I will get this to you and you can frame it. I think that's a great idea, Howie, just to keep it and you can look at it, and I'll point out stuff in it and put little notes on there for you and send you all the information with it, because there's a lot more information. And we've only got a couple minutes, but I hope you enjoyed that, and I'm glad that it's so accurate.
I did. Thank you so much for doing this. This is welcome. Just like I said, this is really fascinating to me. I have been curious, the last couple of weeks or so, just to see how this was going. I was like, watch this chart come up, and they're like, y'all should just get away from each other. But I'm like, we work, so we really work well together. I mean, I think I always say I got lucky, and but I always felt like the first time I saw him, I don't know if this was like a past life thing or something, but before we even actually met and I saw him, I on some level knew that was who I was supposed to be with. And then I laughed. I was like, well, how ridiculous is that? You silly girl. And then this kind of went on. But we ended up meeting later and became friends. And here we are all these years later. Now, we'll joke around and say it's because nobody else will put up with either one of us. But
how many children do you all have?
We have two. We have 2 daughters and 8 grandkids. So
that makes up.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's really awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, I love the synastry charts, and I do have to say this black one here with all the colors, I love that one. That's my favorite.
I like
black with all the colors. That's my favorite one right there. I love the looks of it.
I could see that behind you.
Wow.
That's your what we call aspects. So that's different aspects on there. I think that's pretty cool too. So that's when we combine the two. That's pretty cool. Good stuff. So I'll email all that to you, hon.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
It's so funny. A lot of they almost look like mirror images. I mean,
yeah.
When you put them together.
Yeah.
They do. Good stuff.
And for those who are tuning in and will tune in, you can have your love chart done right here on Love Shack. Yep. And we will start doing this special little package for everyone that gets a reading. Now, this is where I get to step in a little bit. Not every love chart and not every couple is going to be a good reading. Not going to lie to you. Psychologically, socially speaking, sometimes we get together with people we probably should not be with. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. So in the future, when you get a reading and a couple reading or you get a love chart, just be aware that not everything's always going to be as good as the last 2 charts you have seen on this show. And that's okay because that shows individuality here. Just remember that.
Yeah. I can throw a couple of mine up there and I can show you some examples.
I can show you almost what I was expecting. Example. Don't forget, guys, to donate. Help support RNN. Any little bit you give actually helps. produce the shows, the cost of like doing the charts, time, anything, the new coffee cup thing that Howie's got going on here. So
Promos.
and of course, if you work for the company Contigo, please get in touch with the Hitman, Ed Odell. Ship him out a bunch of cups. I like purple. So, just really send a whole
Red and
bunch.
Black Attack.
We'll be happy to advertise it for you.
Yeah, I'll take purple too.
Okay, 2 purples.
Two
With
purple
handles.
and the black.
Since we're ordering purple, I'll take a purple as well.
There you go.
I'll buy a purple one.
I'm
Send
sure
purple, I'll buy a purple one.
she's looking at me. Sarah wants a purple too.
All right, more purple.
Yeah, we want purple. Well, red and black for Rift.
Right.
Yep.
Well, boss,
Oh, purple for Renee.
there you go. There
Love
it
working
is.
with you.
Yep.
All right. So any last minute questions, comments, anything here, guys, from the panel?
I want to say
I just want to say thank you once again for your time and for doing this for me. This was very fascinating, and
welcome.
I really appreciate it.
Oh,
Good
you're
stuff.
welcome.
Yeah, I want to say thank you for coming on, and thank you,
Yes.
Joni, for all your experience that you share, because what you do really do help couples understand each other deeply. And I love that. I love when you do this, and it's pretty awesome. And of course, the Hitman over here, he's always a pleasure to have on the show. So
Always.
it's pretty cool. I know. He's my brother from another mother.
Look at him. God love his little heart.
Oh, way.
All right. Anything else? Anybody's got anything else? Anything else?
No, we're actually at that time, boss.
Hi, Kitty.
That's say hi, Noodles.
Hi, Noodles.
All right. We're gonna
Noodles.
plop this chart down, guys. We got about 2 minutes left. And don't forget, if you guys do want your chart done, please go over to, you can send over an email to the Rift Nation Network at gmail.com, or you can literally go over to Facebook, what you pointing at? Go over to Facebook and what's he doing? He's
He's
disappearing.
pointing to the Gmail.
What?
To the Gmail.
Yeah, I did. Is it down there?
Yeah.
Of
Okay.
course it is.
All right.
Look, listen to him.
Yeah, so don't forget. And you also go over to Facebook. If you're on our Facebook page, you can shoot a message over to RNN as well. Let them know what it is that you would love. So this is the Love Shack, and tomorrow, oh my God, tomorrow we have the Orion effect and one of my favorite subjects, cryptozoology.
We're getting down with Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, I freaking love cryptozoology, and that's going to be an awesome.
That'll be a great show.
Yeah.
I know. I'm excited. And then, of course, we have Joni and Keith both happening on a Monday night. That's going to be awesome. Mystery behind the scenes and the Otter's Den. So, and then Raven's Flock, we have Nikki Night with Nikki Jacobs. So we'll probably be talking alien stuff. That'll be awesome. And then we do have new shows coming on, guys. So stay tuned. Definitely stay tuned. That's all I have to say.
And have a great weekend. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Please.
Time to get the party started.
That's right. Got to go hit the show downtown Richmond. Here we come.
Have fun.
Just a little bit.
All right, guys, we're going to end this off. Peace.
Have a great weekend.
Bye. Bye, everybody.